Hey everybody, welcome to good morning and welcome to the District 5000 Global Grants Fair. Appreciate you jumping on board. Appreciate all the past district governor as well as the current district governor being here today. Wanted to see if Ted, would you want to give a little message and
Yeah,
start off? District
welcome
Governor.
everybody this morning, and thanks for taking time out of your busy Saturday to talk about global grants. Of course, one of the uh, powerful things about us being part of Rotary International is our ability to collaborate with clubs all around the world through our global network. And as Arjun likes to remind us, the last word in our name is international. We are Rotary International. So that's our focus this morning, although we will talk about one global grant project that will be right here at home as well. So thank you again, and I'm looking forward to hearing all the wonderful things that are planned and going on with these global grant projects and how all of us across the district can get involved in them. So thank you, and over to you, James.
All right. Well, hey, thank you, Ted. See here. Okay, great. Just wanted to say thanks. Yeah, we're going to just get started off. I know that I'm trying to see if all of our people in leading global grants are here. Kinley, sorry. Um, I don't see Scott, but I think Arjun, I think could probably speak on Grant's behalf. So I think without further ado, let me just jump on the Zoom as well on the share screen here and get started. Let me maximize the screen here. So I guess the quick test today would be can you name all four of these flags? I think I kind of already spilled the beans a little bit, but these are four global grants that are led by clubs in our district. Obviously, we're not limited to these projects per se, but from a district perspective, these are the grants that we are promoting. Definitely clubs have the choice to interact with other clubs across the world. Can somebody maybe name these off? Anybody? I may have already cheated already when I said kind of what projects we're doing, but it's very
Well,
different.
obvious, the top looks, well, that's a British Union Jack in the corner. I would think the bottom left is Nepal.
Okay.
Uh, I don't know about the upper left. That's
Thailand.
Thailand. Oh, with the Union Jack in the corner. That's like Hawaii's strange.
No. That's not Thailand. I'm thinking the one on the bottom right, but maybe we're looking at different pictures.
Yeah, well, I think the bottom left is why I think it's Nepal is because of the
Ah,
shape. That's where the flag is actually shaped that way, and they have those prayer flags.
The
But
triangle.
I don't know the colors. It's hard to tell the colors. Can we get a different?
Well,
I don't know. This is really bad.
no
We're bad-
worries.
we're
No
bad
worries. We'll
Americans.
learn. We'll learn without having to cheat. We'll just go through the order here. So, I know Al is here. I'll go let Al introduce the first grant. The first grant is actually our I think
flag.
our district's pride and joy for this year. Obviously out of
Oh,
tragedy comes triumph, and we're hoping that this will kind of help kind of rebuild what devastating damage has happened. So Al, do you kind of want to give a little intro to your grant, if you don't mind?
Sure. Good morning, everybody. This grant has to do with replanting of the trees in the burn zone. The burn zone is primarily West Maui, but there's also a section up country in the Kula area that was also burned. And in the fires of a little over a year ago, there were approximately 21,000 trees lost. And so in losing all those trees, we lost the fruit, we lost the shade, we lost the watershed protection. There was food security, and these trees often had cultural significance. The Rotary Clubs of Maui have been providing all kinds of service with the assistance of District 5000 over the last year. And one of our environmental projects is to work with an organization called Tree Covery to acquire and replant the trees that were lost. This organization is the group that is taking care of the banyan tree. And they have embarked on a project to catalog every native tree in the burn zone, which they currently have done, and who owns the tree, what type of tree it is. They have worked to graft, if the trees are still alive, they have taken grafts of those trees and are regrowing trees in what are called grow hubs. There are now 16 grow hubs that have about 4,000 saplings growing. And the idea is for the residents, when they are able to rebuild and get a permit to replant, that they will receive the genetically identical tree that they had on their property before. May not be in the same place because a number of people will end up moving, but it will be an identical tree. In addition, they will be providing a substantial number of trees that will replace types of trees that were lost, plus others like ulu and sandalwood that were historically abundant in West Maui, but in fact are very uncommon now. So working with this organization, we put together a grant, a global grant to assist them to buy the trees that they can't graft, to pot them in these grow hubs. As I said, currently there are 4,000 trees that are growing in about 16 grow hubs, and they are intending to have about 20,000 trees ultimately in more than 20 grow hubs around the island. These trees will require care. Rotarians will be involved in the replanting of these and repotting of these trees as they grow. They have to go into larger pots, which then takes more materials. And ultimately assisting in the replanting of the trees in the sites that are going to be designated for them. So this project is about $120,000. It will include acquisition of trees, hundreds and hundreds of trees. That's about $62,000, along with $22,000 in supplies that include the pots, the potting soil, fertilizer, and relocation costs when they have to be moved from one site to another. In addition, there's $16,000 in utility fees for water for all of these trees. So this will take care of the needs of that organization for recreating the basis for replanting on the west side and upcountry. Is that what you had in mind, James?
Trying to unmute, sorry. Yeah, yes, Al, that's perfect. Thank you so much. I think I had the second half of your slide, of your kind of write-up. Let me just reshare that, sorry. This is the second half of it. I think you just pretty much said this already, but just wanted to, I guess we could hold some questions at the end, if that's all right. And then we could kind of go through to the next grant, if that's all right.
James, can I just add?
Yep, Arjun, go ahead.
Okay, first of all, good morning, everyone, and I'd like to take the opportunity to thank our DZ and all of you here, and thank you, James. And so all of us, if for those who are not familiar, what is this today is this is the Global Grant Fair. We come here and present the basic idea of the global grants. And as DZ Ted mentioned, to be more impactful, the international grants. So we call it international, but it's actually the global grant doesn't mean it has to be outside. It can be in Hawaii. That's what Al just presented. And so the global grant is a long process. It does not happen in one day. So this is a process. If this is something not clear or have questions, let us know later. So thank you, Al, for the Maui project, all the description. So where we are now today is we just started the application in the Grant Center. So the budget Al had there is just a tentative as of now. It's not complete. The tree recovery went to Lahaina and doing all the community assessment survey, including Rotarians and things like that. And so once we have it complete, then we'll, in the maybe next few weeks, we'll have a better idea about the actual amount we need. And what we want from clubs is just the commitment letter. Naomi will also talk later. But in our conversation, our DZ Ted highly encouraged every club in district to pledge at least $100 or more, whatever your club can. So, and another thing, just a little correction is, to do the global grant, you need two sites, international and the local. So in this case, we are local. And so in this case, I saw on the Kihei Wailea, actually it's with D5000. So the district is involved, and L gonna be the primary, but there is like committees. James, myself, Ted, Naomi is in the committee. Anybody would like to be in committee and contribute? Let us know. Let me know, or James, or Naomi, or Al. We can add you so that you have access to the grant. And so, and for the international side, they so now a club in Nepal is willing to do, actually the past district governor, Rajiv, he is going to the primary contact. They will also have to come with money. So if it's 120,000, it's like at least minimum 15%, like 20,000 or so dollar, it will come from outside. So that's where we are. Thank you, James.
Yeah, Arjun, just wanted to also add, thank you, Arjun and Ted, for your help on this grant. I know that this is actually the district's fully supported grant. So I just wanted to reiterate that. And it's a little different than other grants. And I guess in our roles as district officers, we definitely are advocating for this grant. Obviously, it's up to the clubs to choose, but we would love 100% participation. So like I said, even $100 from your club, or even a small amount would be super helpful. There is going to be additional DDF supported, so that number, don't be super scared of that large $120,000 number. There's going to be a lot of support coming from outside and also within the DDF that the district has allocated for as well, additional. So, but please, we would love to get 100% support. So if even your own club, if not your neighboring clubs and your area groups, et cetera, just kind of reach out, and I would love to get this. I don't think we've ever had a 100% club participation grant. If we have, I apologize, I just don't remember. But this would be an amazing opportunity. I see Laura, I see you shaking your head.
Yeah, Iman managed to get all the clubs on board one year.
Yeah, see, I knew it. Awesome, right on, Laura. But yeah, and then I see Chris's question about how many clubs have supported. We have not opened this up for funding yet, right? So this is the right now is the time to start making those allocations and get those support. So I'm sure Chris understands how global grants work, but no clubs have actually submitted any money yet until the grant's actually been submitted and approved. So, but how much has been committed? We have not had those commitments yet because this grant is now being advertised as we speak. So we'll get this going and get those clubs to support, and hopefully in some of the meetings with the presidents and others, please just spread the word. And it's like the cool thing to do. You know, if you're not doing this, you're not cool, I guess. I know peer pressure works in Rotary, but I think it'd be a great opportunity for us to do that. And we've all kind of quote saved money to help with Maui, and some of us have already donated a lot of money already to Maui, so I understand. But you know, $100, you know, honestly, it's something that maybe even in a meeting, everyone just contributes $10 and we can make this happen, right? So something to consider.
And
Next,
also Chris added, yeah,
Arjun.
sorry. Chris
No, go ahead,
just
Arjun.
that native plants, that's really good point, Chris. Thanks for bringing. But the tree cover, they so one of the guy is what do you call a specialist, like tree specialist, arborist or something, a specialist, like
Arborist, yes,
Arborist.
he's an arborist. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I just want to make sure that when the application goes in, we actually have the right terminology. So no, Al mentioned that these are native trees that were being planted. Many of the trees are not native trees; they're introduced trees. And so ulu and figs and various others are introduced trees. And the other thing I just want to just mention is that when a grant is submitted, there are already the promises of all the dollars that are associated with the project. So if this project is $120,000, then the promises, the commitments from people are already out there, and then the grant goes in with that funding promise in place. It's, the funding doesn't come until, you know, the money doesn't come in until afterwards, but the
Completely
funding.
aware. Yep. I think it was just kind of difficult with your question. You said how much was donated to this project already. So no money has been donated yet to the project. So, but
I just came back from Wailuku, and they had made some donations towards what they saw was a global grant for tree recovery in Lahaina and various other places. And so they're under the assumption that the funds that they've given so far have been going to be used for this particular project.
Yep, and it's up to their clubs to decide that, right? So their clubs are probably raising the money, and then they will ultimately donate that accordingly to each club. But no money has been donated to the grant specifically itself yet.
So Chris, your statement is not right. There is a $0 we have collected for this grant, and any club, if they donated or anything, it's not coming to this grant. There is, and what we are seeking now, it's just a commitment. We do have lots of commitment, formal, I mean, or decision made, but there is no money. Actually, this is the grant fair. We do not even seek money before the grant fair, right, James? We do the grant so that all the grants get fair opportunities.
And Nancy, I see. Oh, so Al, sorry, Nancy, I'll have Al respond, I guess, and and then Nancy, if you don't mind after.
Christopher, you're absolutely right. This is not just for native trees. I kept trying to change the title, and somehow it wouldn't let me edit the title. This is going to be non-invasive trees. So a lot of them will be native, some will be introduced that have been introduced, but they are not invasive trees. And the ones that we are avoiding are ones that have been introduced over time and become invasive. And the other point about the Wailuku Club, they have donated funds to Tree Covery as part of their effort to support other projects through the District 5000 Fires Fund, but not under the auspices of this global grant.
Okay, thank you.
Nancy, go ahead.
Yeah, I manage a lot of properties, and trees are beautiful, but some of what we see, of course, that fire, the trees, if the wind was so fast, nothing would have stopped it. But you're seeing, like in these situations going on with the new type of storms, a whole lot of damage to houses is from trees. So while I love that big, beautiful tree hanging over my house, etc., from the looks of it on a postcard, I who manage properties will tell you, Big trees are problematic. Their roots get into the pipes and different things. The branches, of course, can fall down at any time. The leaves clog the gutters. The growth of trees cost a lot to maintain in the future. So while you're talking about letting the homeowners replace the trees they had before, I would suggest, and I'm not a tree expert in very limited ways on tree management because I've been doing it for 47 years now, but is maybe try and come up with a list of smaller alternative shrubbery that homeowners might choose to have. And if you could get an expert on trees, not just a botanist type, but somebody who manages and maintains trees, they could really give that homeowner, we could come up with a list of, this tree is going to do this to you. Your grandchildren will have an 80-foot tree, you know, or your grandchildren will have a tree that they can maintain at the height of the house or something. I'm just thinking of giving people smaller, more manageable alternatives to still have green around their house. And that maybe something like that would be easier and faster to grow and get started. So just a outside suggestion. Okay, thank you.
And I'm sure the sustainability of these trees in this project have been addressed. That's one of the biggest things I think over the last 10, 15 years in Rotary has been addressing that. So definitely appreciate that, Nancy. Yeah, always looking forward. Without further ado, I know we got some other grants to discuss, so I'd like to move forward, and then maybe at the end, we could ask more questions, if that's okay. Yeah, we'll drive forward. Next on my agenda here is Thailand, so I'll share a screen and let Dave jump on board.
Can I share my screen? I'll put on my
Oh, yeah,
PowerPoint.
yeah, let's do that. Your slide's probably better than mine.
No problem.
Let's are you able to do that, Naomi?
No, you have, you can go ahead and
Oh.
share your screen, Dave.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you. Let me pull it up. Sorry, hold on a second. Where is it? Sorry, folks. I had it open. Go ahead and pull yours. Sorry, go ahead. I've had it, but I can't find it right now.
Okay, no worries. It literally just what you
Yeah,
over, so but
I made some corrections, but go ahead and put it
yeah,
up.
here we go. Okay, all yours.
All right.
Oh, shoot, sorry. There you go. You guys see the screen okay?
Yes.
Oh, Dave, I think you're on mute. Sorry.
My apologies. Sorry,
No worries.
folks. So for this global grant, we have been working with Thailand for, probably 10 or plus years, and they've been actually doing grants in Hawaii for the past 18 years. This one's a little smaller than the ones we've had in the past. It's only $37,000. And what they do is they go to different hospitals and they find a hospital that has some needs in rural areas that cannot support their community with certain medical equipment that's necessary in order to diagnose issues and to provide them with proper medical care. And this is going back to a hospital that has been worked on once before. And as you folks may know, Dr. Eberhard Mann, the late Dr. Eberhard Mann, was a frequent visitor to Thailand. And he was the one that instigated this relationship with the Salam Rotary Club. And the Salam Rotary Club is ran by, all these global grants are run by this one gentleman named Sam. His name is Kazim Chai with Nadikam, but we go by Sam. So Sam is his name, is very articulate individual, knows grants very well, puts them in, organizes those, gets those through, gets them done every single year, almost by clockwork. And so he's it's one of the few grants that we're able to put in and complete within a year's time, at the most, maybe a year and a half. So last year's grant we did complete. This year it's $37,000, and it's for equipment that is at the Chiang Khong Hospital in northern Thailand. And it's a tribute to Dr. Eberhard Mann, because that hospital actually was one that he visited often. And they have all these pictures of him, and there's kind of a shrine for him in the hospital to thank him postmortem for all of his work that he's done. And this is in kind of memory of his. And what we're doing is medical equipment for hydrogen peroxide plasma sterilizer cabinets, hydrogen peroxide spray units, defibrillators, and infant hearing screening, because they don't have any ability to screen infants for hearing issues. And this is something that's often happened in rural third world countries where they just don't have the equipment and they wait until the kids definitely can speak before they can tell them, or longer after they could probably diagnose the problems. So we're looking for 37,000. The Rotary Club of Honolulu Sunrise will be supporting the district grant, the district global grant for Maui. So we're also looking for help on this particular global grant, but we think at $37,000, if we can get 5 or 6 clubs to help us, that would be great. So I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have on that. But again, this is one that we've done year over year, and it's a proven entity, and they always do a wonderful job and makes it easy for us. And they do all of the reports, and it's a great organization to work with.
Awesome. Thanks, Dave. Any questions from the field? See if any. Again, as a physician myself, I do see these grants being super impactful. I know there is discussions with visibility and is this a hands-on project, et cetera, and obviously just a different type of global grant. And I know Dave can attest to this too, but there's a reason why medical grants go so quickly, because these products are already approved. There's physicians are kind of already there that show the needs, and the impact is pretty straightforward. In some means kind of maybe boring, Dave, sorry, but
No.
but
Well,
the impact's there,
I will say though that they do a great ceremony with the presentation of the equipment, with the training of the equipment, and they will open that up for you. And if you want to come out and visit for that ceremony, they're happy to do so. I've got pictures of the ceremonies for past years, and it's a lot of fanfare. So if any of you went to Bali and saw what we did for the blood bank, it was an all-day event, and they kind of have the same type of an event. All of the machines that are donated all have a placard put on it, and they have the names of every club in District 5000 that participates in this global grant. So your name will be posted permanently on these machines, and I can show you pictures of those also. So they do a great job on that, and welcome your participation. So yes, you're right, James. Often when we get it funded, the money comes to Rotary, and they are ready to have everything ready to order, and they place that order. And by the time it arrives, it may not give us a lot of time to say, okay, let's jump on an airplane and go to Thailand. And it might be during monsoon periods or periods that you wouldn't want to be visiting Thailand. Those are some of the issues, but it doesn't stop you from visiting any time of the year. And we could always set up some visitations and maybe a site project on the side to do something else in their local community.
Hey, James.
I see Chris's hand up. Sorry.
Yeah.
James,
so-
wait,
so
hold on,
my-
James.
I'm sorry.
Okay, we got a hard stop because there's a 10 o'clock, another event. And so we got to make sure we get through the other grants. So either we keep the questions really short and get through the other 2 grants, or we keep the questions to the end if we have time.
I'm
So
done.
my
Thank you.
question is really quick. Dave, a great project. When do you anticipate starting and finishing? Is it 1 year?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, as long as we can get the funding, that's the biggest holdup. They've already got the grant submitted. They've already got the equipment ready to be ordered, and it's ordered from a local medical source. So it's done through Thailand organizations that sell medical equipment and bring it in. It could be equipment from the US, but it's actually sold and maintained in Thailand. So it's not stuff that's going to go unrepaired if it's broken. And
Okay.
they do all the training there.
So submitted means they actually have all the funds committed, or they need funds?
We need to get the funds committed. So none of the funds are committed because none of these grants have started yet.
Okay, so it's been, okay, I understand.
We don't commit our grants until October, to the end of October.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna hand the mic over to Arjun. I'm trying to get Scott, hey, Arjun, I'm still in the process trying to get Scott on board. But if you want to go with the Nepal grant first, and then we can,
Sure.
see if Scott can jump
Sure.
on in here. Thanks.
So let me share my screen. Okay. Okay, good. Okay, this year we have another global grant and in Nepal. One of the things I want to mention is this is another new club. I always want to work. What I found when I started Global Grant is in Nepal, there are like only few clubs doing the Global Grant, and there are so many clubs not doing. And one of the things is I wanted to empower all those new interested, but they had never had opportunity. This is the fourth new club when they were done Global Grant. But we have a mentor from the club who is already doing, like, for example, Guneshwar who came, who is going to be like mentoring this completely. And these are all different places. This global grant we're proposing this year is providing drinking water and sanitization for this village. This village actually not very far from where we had a service project 2 years ago. It was Naomi's year, and it was also district sponsored project. And it's only from that place, Damauli, where we went, it's only 30 kilometers from there, uphill, and that makes a little bit remote. Those who went to Nepal probably remember we went to a place to give the solar suitcase. You continue that road, dirt road, about 30 kilometers, which is like 20 miles. So what is this is in this village, actually 20 years ago, they developed a drinking water supply, but lots of things in these kind of countries, they don't plan very well. They develop drinking water, they have the distribution line from the 2 sources, but that was enough for only rainy season, 4 months. For 8 months, they still would go to the stream downhill and get the water. But now the village is getting bigger. Lots of people like to migrate to along the river areas so that they have water, they can grow vegetables and things like that. So the total in this village, 230 families, and the school has about, I think 1,100 total, 800 students, and then another has like a high school, upper high school, 300, total 1,100, and then also the 1,100 school plus 1 hospital in this village. So they do not have a good water source, and the villagers all for the 8 months they go downstream and then fetch water. So what we are planning to do is so here's the detail: construction of sedimentation chamber, infiltration. So pump the water to the uphill side and make a reservoir. The existing tank is only 15,000 gallons. Think about that. That's 4,000 liter water. Obviously not enough for the excuse me, for the big village. So what they are planning is construction of the pumping the water uphill, the filter the water with the solar pumping with the solar pump. Then there is going to be chlorine dosing for the part of the filtration system installation and all these things. And of course, the local people will be involved in this. So what's the output? The pump will be in operation. So 4 kilometers of the new pipeline will be there. So the project is to reuse whatever pipe it's already there, possible repair and install new one. These 4 kilometers will be new one. The filtration system, and then also since it's a school, how to complete the project, they're going to have pad vending machine install and things like that. So the outcome will be there will be 2 operators. After the project, the water will be available for the village, for the hospital and the school, and the impact will be like health impact, economic status improve, and local jobs. So here is some little detail about the budgeting. Total is 55,000. So this shows where the budget is going. So the funding, they from our local district and other sources, they already have about 24,000 or so, and I think they are seeking 30,000 total money. So and about the trip, there are lots of things we can volunteer. We haven't planned yet, but if there is an interest, we can definitely have a plan. Let me stop sharing. And the grant status, this grant is pretty much ready to go as soon as we have enough money. So any questions, please let me know.
Could you clarify just a little bit? You said the grants for 55, but
Yes.
they already have 20?
Yes, they have. They already have 24,000. Yeah, so we need 31,000. Yeah, 30 or 31.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Rick.
All right, I guess we'll drive on to the next grant. If there aren't any questions, again, another impactful project, a country we've worked with before, and we know results are going to happen. So I think it's, again, you know, it's, but I think aside from that, we have another exciting grant that's kind of a new place for me. I know that we've had grants in Uganda before, but wanted to see if Scott, are you able to jump on, or would you have Arjun kind of discuss it? I don't see. I see Scott on. Maybe not. Hey, Arjun, would you mind just if you have a slide to put up?
Let me see. I don't have a actually slide prepared
Okay.
or anything like that.
Okay.
I can pull up my email, and I should have all the information needed for this.
Okay. Great.
So
I didn't
is
get
Scott
the.
in that or not?
Let's see. I don't know Scott's responding. I see somebody named Scott is on.
Yeah, no, there
Oh,
you go.
hey.
Well, I was muted
There you
and
Scott. So hey,
no
there
longer muted.
right on.
Anyhow, no, thanks for, sorry, I could not find your email, and so I'm sorry I'm late, but
Okay.
yeah, just, I mean, this project still, I mean, the more I'm talking to Arjun, this project needs some further vetting, and I just haven't got to that point yet, and I plan on getting it to it next week. We got some very important questions to ask, and Arjun has pointed that out to me. So we're very much still yet in the preliminary stages, and I think it's a great project. And the Rotarians in Uganda, I feel really good about them, and they're very motivated to get this done. They just need some guidance.
So I can add a little bit. Thank you, Scott. So I came to know this is I had opportunity to talk to Scott maybe like 7 days or 10 days ago about this. And so this person, the primary contact, he made a presentation at Scott's club and was seeking some money. So the idea that the project is, this is a village, what I'm sharing here from the Google Earth they sent. There are, so according to the text they sent, there are about 5,000 or so people here, and then the hospital and school, and the drinking water is not good. So the idea is to rainwater catchment as well as boreholes, and then pump the water and then distribute to the village, right? And the most of the discussion earlier was about the funding. They still have, I think, significant amount of money is already there. The primary contact, he is contributing his own money as well, like 30,000 or 25,000. So, but still need some about 30,000 money for this. And that seems everything good. And, you know, doing project in Uganda, we take it as an opportunity. Also, and look at this photo. Obviously, you can tell there is a need. And I think, let me see some of the photos he sent. Okay, this is I believe this is the photo they sent from there. Didn't say clearly if it's the source or not. Probably this is the source. So what happened is one other thing we want to make sure is the project is very promising or not. It all looks so. Instead of engaging too much on finding the money, I and Scott discussed that what we need to do is project is viable, James word, or promising. So the technical details. For example, the budget says 40,000 for pump. What kind of pump is the $40,000 is a lot. And then how much water is pumping? It doesn't have anything. And it says drilling. Drilling is a good idea, but what if there is no water after you drill? We need some technical information that shows there is water. We do not want to put our money and the risk, and we have a pump and the drilling and everything is there, but there is no water, right? And this project didn't have filtration system. And the rotary, any rotary project, we do not install any develop water project and supply poor quality water. The quality has to be standard. So there needs to be a filter system. The grant as of now does not show any filtration part, and then also needs to be validated with some testing. These are some of the things Scott and I went and we are going to ask them. And so first make sure the project is feasible first. And because lots of grants, international grants, what happens is they come with asking for money and not going into details. I think this is very important. We go into details and make sure our money will be used for and make some impact. Anything you want to add, Scott?
No, that's it. And I hope to get to it next week to ask those very important questions. And again, I think they'll be very positive, and they will, if they don't have the answers, they'll go find the answers. And they will move. I'm pretty sure they'll move forward to, satisfying these requirements. Again, they just need to be told. And I think, unfortunately, it's kind of fallen on us. Someone just, Dave, I was just typing a response to your question. So just so everybody knows, we have this Swift. He's Swift of Sweden. Urs is his name. He's very involved in Rotary. And he himself has put up 30,000, plus some of his friends have probably contributed another 2 or 3. And that's an individual contribution. They are at this point the sponsoring club, internationally sponsoring club. We have talked to them about us taking it over and being the international sponsor, simply because Urs, it sounds like he's so involved in so many different projects. He's almost saying, yeah, if you guys want to take this over, that's fine. So we're kind of, let's just find out, hopefully this week, how motivated they are, if they're willing to, move forward and plan for a filtration system. The other thing Arjan did not mention that didn't make any sense is that if they're going to do, being on the Big Island where catchment systems are very important, if they're going to do rainwater, what's the source of catching it? Where are they going to get it from? And then if you're going to do rainwater, you got to have a huge storage system. And right now, Arjan pointed out it's only a 5,000 gallon tank that they have spec'd out.
Yeah,
so, yeah, so that's pretty interesting. So unless they're able to, they know for sure this well is going to be able to produce constantly, that's okay. That they might be able to get away with 5,000, but 5,000 gallons spread out I don't know how many people you guys know about catchment systems, but we have a house at the volcano and it's a 10,000 gallon. That's the minimum that the county requires. So for one house, I have a 10,000 gallon tank. So 5,000 seems very small.
No, hey, Scott, I think there's a misunderstanding. I'm actually looking at the budget right now, and they have, if it says multiple 20,000 liter tanks. So they actually have
Oh.
it in their budget. Yeah, under line item number 3.
Oh, yeah.
Tanks for structure. Yeah. So it's
Oh.
I'm not sure if they were that 5,000.
But it's still, James, you don't have to say multiple. You can just write number of.
I know, but it does say specifically 20,000 liter tanks.
Yeah.
So I do
Okay,
think that
well,
budget does need to be sorted out. But yeah, I think I don't want to like downplay the engineer there, because I think he
No.
does know what he's talking about, and I think he does have an understanding. And I don't know if some of you attended the international service meeting, but you know, they did give us a presentation, and it seemed you know, it seemed very legit and understanding. And I think some of these questions we have could be like, just like you said, Scott, they're gonna be easily addressed.
okay.
It's
Okay.
basically a process we have to go through. That's we're making sure we're not making any, you know, downplay or anything like that. We just want to make sure. And as Scott mentioned, if let's say if a water tank in Oahu, if it's going to be Waianae versus if it's going to be Waimanalo, going to be different, right? How much does it rain or not? So
Correct. And then, yeah, we need to know the rainfall, like the rainfall data and,
Yeah.
you know, things like that, right? And when the rain season is. Filtration, I think, is the biggest thing that Rotary is pushing now, because I think in the past, filtration wasn't an issue. And now they're actually asking for testing of coliform bacteria, et cetera, before and after to show that impact. So it makes sense, more
Yeah,
objective data.
one of the things we're trying to do is once we submit, Grant Center will gonna have lots of questions. So we weren't trying to make sure, you know, they will have less and less questions, and the grant goes through much faster.
Right. Okay, good. So I have my marching orders. I hope to get to it next week. At least start the process, start asking the questions. And they've been super responsive. So again, I anticipate them jumping all over this and getting back to us. So I'll keep you all posted.
And just so you guys have a grant number to look forward to in the title, this is the grant that's up. And again, some details need to be sorted. I think it's you know, it's something that's a work in progress, but I think it will happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we'll put all this data, just so you guys don't have to worry about writing down stuff or memorizing stuff or taking see some people like taking photos of the screen. But it'll be on our website. You know, it'll be linked in through the global grants portion of our district website. So sometime over this weekend we'll have that posted up, and then if you could share with your clubs, maybe get your boards to you know, decide. It doesn't have to necessarily happen immediately, but if you could just put a you know, you have until the end of the month, and you know, give some kind of a commitment. We do have a commitment form that's online. That's also to kind of show the next incoming president, the president-elect, and the board that you know, the club does have funds due. 'Cause sometimes, like we mentioned earlier, you know, the grant might be submitted, but it may not be approved until after the Rotary year is over, and then the incoming president will be needing to kind of make sure that to save some money for that.
James, I think Naomi is trying to show the form and explain it. Is that okay?
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
Yep. And also, like we did last year, if we could put it into one document to list down the global grants that are looking for funding with a short description, and we can send it out with the pledge form, then people can see what the choices are. But I'd like to share my screen so people can see where to find these resources. So when you go to the district grant, the district website, under club resources, you go to foundation, grants, and then global grants. And then this is the page that you'll come to. On this page, you'll find the allocation on how much your club has for allocated amount for DDF. And you need to match that amount with your club cash in order to use that district designated funds. So when you click on this form, this link right here, you're going to get to the allocation. And you look for the name of your club, and the allocated amount for global grants is in this last column. And so your club would match it with cash. Now, the way that you pledge your club cash and allocation is by using this pledge form. So click on the pledge form, and we'll send this out to everyone. So the form, let me get that form for you. Okay, so the form is going to be signed by the current president and the president-elect. And the reason the president-elect is signing this is because when your club is pledging the money, your club cash, and the funds aren't sent this year, this Rotary year, it needs to be budgeted, kept in your reserves for next year to give that money when the grant is ready to go. So this is a pledge form for this year. You put in the name of your club, the project name, and global grant number that you're pledging your funds to, how much DDF you're pledging, and how much matching cash. So of course you can put in more matching cash if you want. So additional funds go here. Now, when the money is being requested, there's going to be a 5% added fee on top of that for admin for Rotary International. So don't include that 5% service charge in these numbers, but when you send the money, you'll be asked to add on that 5%. Okay,
Naomi,
so
can
yes.
I add that, you know, clubs are able to sponsor more than one global grant, so you can take your funds and share them with multiple grants if you'd like to do so, and say, I want to get 50 here or 40% and 60%, so that you can support more than one global grant if you so wish.
Right. So the form has room for 3. If you want, if you have more than 3, just put in a addendum to this. So you're showing what grants you're supporting and the dollar amounts. And then we'll combine that into a spreadsheet so we can keep track of who's giving money to which grant. And if the grant is not going, if the grant has more money than needed, you'll be notified. So it's really important to put your email address and phone number in there. Now, this form, we'd like to have it by November 1st, and you're going to be sending it to grants@rotaryd5000.org. Please make sure that you get a response that the form has been received. Okay, so we make sure that your form is in the Gmail.
And
Okay.
please write legibly, please. There's a lot of emails I couldn't read, and please just. And I think that's it. Any questions? Anything else? Any questions on the process? Anything specifically on the projects?
Naomi, is that a fillable form online?
It's a Word document, but I can make it a PDF as if needed. But it's a Word
If
document.
it was a fillable form, then that gets over the problem that James has in reading.
No, some
No.
people still cannot do it online. So
Yeah, I know they can't do it
Flexible.
online, but training is good.
Hey, James, this is Vern Lowry. Did we get an update sometime on this last year's global grants? How things went? We supported your Papua New Guinea one. I just like to find out what's going on. Thanks.
Correct. Yep, we'll do. Yeah, I'll reach out to you separately. Thanks, Ryan. Oh, Jay, I see your hand up.
Yeah, Naomi, can you send the process, how it goes exactly from the going on the district website and going all down? If you just send that out to be sure,
okay, sure.
that will make life easier.
Okay.
I think I have it, but I'm not sure.
And since you said you had a spreadsheet, can you let us know if we have any outstanding commitments still? So we can make sure that they're in the budget for this year. Thank you.
Do. And Ted, one last favor, Ted, maybe in your presence meetings, maybe you could kind of bring up this commitment form also, or just the idea to make the commitments in by the end of the month, please.
Yes, will do.
Thank you, Ted. And I see one last hand. Chris, I see your hand up. I think you're on mute, Chris.
Would it be possible for each of the grants that we're trying to fill to see how much is being attributed to each pot as we go along? Many of the grant fairs that I go to have that, so that different projects know that they're only $5,000 short, or no. So then you know how much is being attributed across each of the projects from around the district.
So the primary gonna know that, a primary contact, you have the primary contact of all the grants.
And it's hard to also know that because sometimes your international club, the host club is going to send in their money last to find out how much they need to match in order to make up the difference. So you're not going to know always how much is coming from the other side.
Okay,
We can see that though.
yes, sorry, we do need to wrap up
Okay.
because the Facebook Live is starting in 3 minutes. So Ted, do you want to wrap us up and we can get on to that Facebook?
Yeah, thank you all. Look forward to all of our clubs participating in global grants, especially our Maui Tree Project, but also all of these other very worthy projects as well. So please go back to your clubs and encourage their participation, share with people in the other clubs, and let's continue to increase our impact as part of our Rotary Action Plan. And now we do need to shift gears and we need to go celebrate our club's achievements from last year on Facebook Live with our 2023-24 awards. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. See everyone soon.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody.
Take care.
Great job.